Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Great Big Money Experiment, where my finances are laid bare as an experiment in achieving financial freedom. Today we are covering my expenses over May to June 2020. We then update my net worth and my retirement calculator. Today we will end on a discussion of why expense tracking is important and how we use it to formulate actionable steps toward our financial freedom. Let's see what I've spent over the last month. With everything tallied, our combined household expenditure was close to $2,355, and my total responsibility for the month was $1,248. Let's see what I spent it on. So, by far, the biggest expense was rent, followed by food, and then insurance. Compared to last month, alcohol, hobbies, entertainment, and gifts were all up. I expect these expenses to be lower again in the coming month. Overall, expenses were up by $60. Food expenditure was down, and I'll talk a little bit about that later on. Let's see how my net worth has changed. So, my current account holds $400. My savings increased and it's $10,690. My credit card is paid off. I keep a revolving balance on it sometimes, but zero for the moment. Um, Self-directed investing, $6,027. I still have $10,000 at a financial planner. I'm not sure what the exact value is. I'm waiting for the quarterly update for my quarterly statement. So, over last month, my net worth has increased by $1,034. Time to update the retirement calculator. Inputting our last month expenses and our current net worth, our calculations yield the result that we have 26 years until a safe retirement. Time for a discussion on why expense tracking is important. Simply, as the saying goes, what gets measured gets done. The very first step in reaching financial freedom is knowing what the current state is, meaning you have to know what your net worth is, so your assets and your liabilities, and you also have to know what your current income and expenses are. Without this, you'll be stumbling around in the dark. Expense tracking highlights opportunity for action. In my tracker, I have totals and percentages listed for each expense category. This summary gives you a very good idea of where opportunities exist for slashing your expenses. Once you know the opportunities, you can decide on actionable steps to take to reduce said expenses. You can either address the largest expenses first or go after the expenses that are the easiest to change. Just as in debt repayment strategies, we call them the avalanche and the snowball methods, respectively. In my case, I'm tackling the top three first. We are moving to a cheaper province, so next month we should see rent come down. Insurance might be higher next month, but lower thereafter as we are compelled to move insurance companies. And with regards to food, we already saw a decrease. This was a conscious reduction. We asked ourselves how money can be saved on food. The answer was to challenge ourselves to make as many dinners as we can on $20 and whatever staples we have in the home. Coincidentally, this meant that we had to remove meat from our everyday diet. I love meat, so it might sound like I'm depriving myself. On the contrary, every second week we buy good quality, expensive meat for a meal. We go for quality over quantity, and it makes a huge difference in our grocery bill and in our enjoyment of the meat. If you're interested in eating well but cheaply, I will have posted two links in the description on this. One is a free ebook and the other is a YouTube channel. Remember that expense cutting is an iterative process. You don't need to make big changes all at once. You just need to consistently and persistently make small cuts to your expenses, and you'll eventually have a very high monthly savings, which you can then use to repay your debts, build an emergency fund, and eventually reinvest.